Recording. Let me share the screen. Okay. Today we discuss about the flows. Okay, flows. We learn about the workflows. We learn about the process builders. We learn about the approval process too. This means in terms of flow is means quite advanced version of process builder. Means these are workflow. Process builder is advanced version of workflow, and flow is an advanced version of a process builder. Means the capability that we can do in a process builder, we can also do the in the flow. But there are some but it has also some more extensions over the flow is that flow is more visualization. Means in the process builder we can't see the means suppose I need to take input from a user, then execute some action, then execute something. That is not possible in the sorry, that is not possible in the process builder will only works when we have make any changes on the record. Means either it will be created or it will be edited. Remember, the only two options are available over there. Means whenever the record is created or edited, then thereafter we can execute the flow. Else there is no way to execute a flow directly. Means we have to make changes on the record. Thereafter we can execute the process builder. Sorry for my means whenever we make changes on the record, thereafter we can execute the process builder, right? Means there is an option. Remember, there is an option called creator on the creation of the record, or and let me show you if you don't remember. Process builder. The last time we created these two process builders. Let me open the active one. Here you can see that process builder will only execute if the record is created or the record is edited. Yeah, means it is only when the someone has creating a record or someone has editing a record, only at that time uh, it will that process builder will execute. Apart from that, it will not execute. But suppose we have a requirement that saying that requirement is something like that. Oh, let's where is my our book manager? So we are at bookstore, and I don't want to go open a bookstore, and I don't want to go to the related list and click on new and then fill up the forms, all those forms, and I also see the due date and also see the due date, total amount. I don't want to see these two fields. Only I just want to see, only I just want to fill the bookstore, books and quantity, and then click save. It will do all the rest. Means I don't want to go to the it's related. I just want to, a button should be here that when I click on that button, it will open a pop-up, and that pop-up I will fill out all the details, and then uh, it will handle the rest of the properties. Yeah, some kind of action means these kind of action when some these are some more automated process. Means we can execute a process builder from a button. Means that is not possible. For that we need to make changes on the records. Process builder will only execute when we make a changes on the record. But the flow has some more capabilities. It has both option. It can be executed when we make changes on the record, and we can also be executed without making changes on the record. We can execute a flow directly from a button or directly from somewhere else. We can execute the flow directly from the if when you know that means more, we can execute directly from a component or a visual force page or from apex. Means any can we can execute a flow from anywhere. But in the process builder we have some limitations over there. It has a it will be executed only when we make changes on the records. And there is a one more limitation that in the process builder, that whenever suppose uh, suppose we have a requirement that when we delete a account, then all the related contacts will also get deleted. Yeah, the sorry, whenever a field, means suppose a field on the account, what's let me show the cells. No, where is my? We have also. I just want to see. Where is the bookstore? Where is the all bookstore has? Okay. Suppose there is a uh, field called not in process anymore. Yeah, something like that means yeah, not in process anymore means the person haven't paid for that subscription or book or anything, and due to some reason I want to delete those records the system, from the self system. So that is also not possible to delete a record from the system via process builder. We can't delete a record from a process builder, but yeah, we can delete a record from a flow. So such kind of limitations on the process builder will make us to choose a flow. Means when on the basis of some limitations on the process builder, we are choosing a flow. Means what we can say that there are some means first limitation is that whenever we have a option that we need to execute some automated process on the base, not on the basis of a record changes. It will be for on a button click. Means whenever we have, you can see this, these are the buttons. These are the buttons, and in the Salesforce these are known as quick actions. These are known as actions or quick action. Okay, so these are the actions. So whenever there is a requirement that on the basis of action we need to perform some we need to open an automatic process, so at that time we choose the flow. Or we have a requirement that we need to delete a records, that thereafter we can choose a flow. So these kind of requirements, then whenever we need to delete a records, or whenever we need to perform some complex logic to on the child records. Yeah, suppose I want to do a calculation, means I want to do that number of suppose this, in this case we have a master detail relationship with the I think yeah, this one has the master detail relationship, so I can do the roll up. But suppose we don't have a master detail relationship with the this bookstore to the selling, then we don't have an option to this control this value. We don't have an option to control. Suppose I want to calculate all the total amount that are purchased. Means I want to calculate all the total amounts to the bookstore. That is not possible if we don't have a master detail relationship. That is not possible to do a roll up. So at that case we can also take a help of a flow that will do that complex calculation, because that complex calculation is not possible in a process builder. So whenever we have a complex calculation on the child records, and on the basis of calculation we need to update the parent record, so that can also be possible in a flow, because flow has some capabilities that we can uh, work on the loops. It has a loop on which we can work on the loop means the whenever we have a list of records and we have to perform a some operation on the list of the records, that we can do on the uh, flows also. But we don't have any with control on the loops or something like that on the child records. This it is not means you don't have any control on the child records in the case of process builder. Process builder just either update all the records. Yeah, it will update on the, they have only one just a single capability that it will update all the child records, or have some condition so that it will update only few records, just like we have seen that in our previous example, that we are updating only those on the basis of due date change. We are updating only those records whose payment confirm it's uh, false. Only those records are updated. So process builder have any such capability that it will update only though it will update the child records, but do not make any calculations on the basis of child records. And it is and only one more thing that we can do filter on the updation of the child records, that similar to say that we update only those records whose payment confirm is false. So we can't do so much calculations on the on the child records in case of process builder. But we have a more advanced version of a process builder called flow. Flow has some more capabilities. It has you can design flows either take an input from the user and then perform some action, because that is not possible in a process builder. For the taking input from a process user, you need to have to make updation on this record detail page, and then as a result of that thing, the process builder will execute. But suppose we have a requirement that we don't want to take a input from a user and just want to delete the or so just want to take some action without taking while taking of the input, we want to take some actions. So that is not possible in the process builder, so we will use the flow. Let's have a look how the flow is working. So everything is dependent. What are the limitation of the means workflow has the limitation, then we move to the process builder. When the process builder has the limitation, then we move to the flow. Flow is the most powerful right now powerful tool available in the automation process. It has a so many capabilities. You can do designs as much as you complex logic over there. You can do as much as thing available over there. Means it is the most powerful tool in any of the automation system. Means you can do anything. Means you can you have to just map everything, and you can do most means anything in the while using a flow.
So if we are using flow, good, we don't need to use workflow or process builder at all.
If we are using flow, then
Can
no,
we?
it's totally based on the requirement. That means flow is also have a cap. Means suppose we have only small. It's basic on the requirement. Suppose I have only a small task to update a field, or send a notification, or something, do something else. Such kind of work means which is based on the some field update. Means which is based on the some field update. So when we have a small task kind of task, because designing a flow is quite complex than a process builder. Process builder designing some task on the process builder, it's quite easy. Means you just have to put the decision box and then check the conditions, and then you just have to update the records. But for that, doing that thing, using a flow, it's quite complex. Means it's not easy as a process builder. But yeah, we can design the same thing in the flow. But if we have it's based on the requirement. As I told that whenever we have a limitation that such thing can be doable on a process builder, then we move to the flows. Apart from that, do as much you can use the using the process builder, because when flows become too much complex, then debugging the issues are quite complex in that flows, because flows are designing a flow is such a little bit complex process. Okay, so that's why.
So if we can do with workflow, first option is workflow. If it's not enough, we move to process builder and we try with it. If it's not, the last.
So for the workflow, I just told you that whenever you have a requirement, instead of outbound message, just work on the process builder, not work on the workflow. Workflow has only two requirements, that it will work on the field update and email alert, and that is available on the process builder. So I told you that instead of working on the workflow, move to the process builder. But if anything is not possible in the process builder, then move to the flow. Else, do as much you can on the process builder.
Okay.
So for the flow, you just have to go to the setup and write the flow. Yeah, and hit the new flow. Now you can see that we have these kind of flows are available: screen flows, record trigger flow, schedule trigger flow, platform event trigger flow, and auto launch flow. Okay, so screen flow is the kind of flow that in which we take the input from the user. Yeah, we take the input from the user and then perform some action. Yeah, it will take the input from the user. It is just like you can see that it can be available for the Lightning Pages, community, quick action, and many more. Means it is available at every places. Means you can design a screen flow. Suppose I have to do a survey. Means I just put some questions and some options. User give the answers, and means suppose I have a requirement for a survey and store that information to some record, some objects, that can also doable. So instead of designing a number of screens, means using a code or something like that, We just design a flow that will do automatically. Means actually the flow is a some wizard view like screen. You can just hit next, 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 and read to the end of screen. So whenever we have a requirement, some kind of flow, or we have a requirement to take the input from the user, so at that time we can take the help of a flow. Record trigger flow, it's a thing that whenever the record is created, updated, or deleted, then we execute the flow. Yeah, it is also because process builder does not have capability to uh, execute when the record get deleted, but the flow has the capability, it can be executed when record is deleted. This comes in a recent I think in the winter 20, the winter 20 they releases that we have a record trigger flow. Previously it is not possible to run any kind of automated flow or automated process in the Salesforce automation process automation drive. Previously we don't have any automation tool that will execute on the in the case of delete, but Salesforce are putting so much effort on designing this flow. So they just launched that whenever the record is deleted, the flow will also get executed. And we have a schedule trigger flow, just like other thing. It will run at some particular time in a batches. Means it will execute some piece of record, then after then some piece of record. And then we have a platform event trigger flow. Means whenever there is any platform events are occur. Platform events are the events that is something like that. It's a similar to that radios. Means suppose I want I have a number of users that are working on different screens. Yeah, that are working on a different screens, and at that time I just want to notify. Means whenever I make changes on the record, I want to notify all the users that hey, I make the changes. Yeah, it's a kind of notification to, it's a kind of broadcast notification. Means I just make a changes and execute that event. Then what it will do, it will notify all of the users, something like that, just like a radio. Source is single, and it will just uh, throw out the information. Whoever have the capability, they can receive the information. You got my point? Yes or no? Means it's just like a radio. Means where I will just throw out the notification, or and who has a tune on that channel can get the notification. It's the events are platform events are quite similar to that thing. We will just design an event, a message, and throw out to all the user who have the subscribed to that event can get the notification. Yeah, you got my point on just confirming.
Yeah. So for users to get this thing, they need to register by themselves.
Yeah, they need to register to that event. So whenever we means it's just like a messaging service. Means we just do that messaging thing. So whenever user receives an event, and it will do that thing. So it's kind of that thing. We just register that flow to that event. So whenever that event occurs, that flow will automatically execute. And we have last and most usable, that is auto launch flow. Auto launch flow is a flow that can be executed. Means it does not have any screens on it. Just we can design a complex logic. Only this auto launch flow is a used to design a complex logic that will whenever any record changes, or means not record changes, it can be means we can call it from any place. Means it can be called from, because it can be callable from a Apex class or from a process builder. Means if you from a process builder you want to execute a flow, it is also means that auto launch flow will help in that. And any kind of means any third party tool, means it's a kind of that thing that when we don't have any screen, means screen flow and auto launch flow are quite similar. Means it are quite screen flow is the flow that in which we have some screens, and on the basis of some user input, then we have to make a calculation. And auto launch flow, we take the input from any running process. We are not taking input from a user. We are taking input from either from the Apex code, or from a process builder, or from any API or something like that. Means currently some process is running, and what are be the output from that process, we will pass to of that flow, and that flow do the rest of job. So it's a kind of that thing. Means it is not executed from a it is not a standalone. It always be executed from a some running process. Yeah, these are thing are means this is a standalone. Means it we place that process builder, it will take the inputs and do all the process. It will the record trigger flow, it will execute whenever we record is updated, created or deleted. And schedule time, we just schedule that flow, and it will do that whatever be the logic or whatever thing we have designed in that flow, it will do in a scheduled time. Then we have a platform event flow. So this whenever we create any platform events, so platform events, just I just like say that they are the just events that can be triggered from any place. Whoever subscribe to that event, they get the notification. So similarly, for the platform event flow, we will just design a platform event, and that platform event can be triggered from any place. Means it can be triggered from a record when a record changes. It can be triggered from any VF, means any of the tool outside the system. Means it can be triggered from any place, and whenever it's triggered, whoever who subscribe that event gets the notification and perform the action. So if we create any platform event and subscribe a flow to that platform event, so whenever the events occurs, that flow will execute it. And then last and most usable, it's auto launch flow. Auto launch flow are those flows that can be launched from any place. It doesn't take any input from the user. It will only it's because auto launch flow and screen flow are similar to each both one, because the only difference is that it will take from screen flow takes input from the user, and auto launch flow does not take from the input from the user. It takes input from some running process, either from Apex code or from a process builder or from a REST API. Whatever be that output from those process, we will put that as an input in our flow, and flow will take as an input and process whatever be the processing that design in that flow. It will get designed, and whatever be the output, it will perform automatically. So it's a kind of that thing. It doesn't take any input from the user, it just take the input from any running process. So these 5 types of flow are available in a system. You have to means you have to just remember that thing. Means what you have to remember that what the name is suggesting and what it can be do. Capabilities, you have to remember the capabilities, what it can do. So that's the screen flow, record trigger flow, schedule trigger. The name is also resemble that what it can be do. So no issue. So let's first design the screen flow, how it's working, how it's looking. So let's design a screen flow. I will use the freeform layout. Means freeform layout, we can drag and drop something like that. So just it is quite similar that in your schooling you have learned, or some place you have learned that what is the flow. Means we have a flow already learned uh, in our school time or somewhere place. Whenever we design a database, then we also have a flows. So that's the same layout in this here. So before starting, let's give me a small what elements are available over up here. It's a flow builder, and this screen is called flow builder. So here we have an element section, and we have a managers. So in the element section, we just use the what are the components available for a flow. Suppose is we have a screen component, we have an action component, we have a subflow component. Screen components, when we have to take an input from a user. Action components are the thing just like send an email or call from these are the same thing as you have learned in the process builder. We have an action component, remember. Process builder, we can call an Apex. Here this one, action component, when we are choosing the action, what action it will do. Let me flow on it, so it will be these action. These are our action component, call as action component in the flow, means calling apex or flow or existing post to chatter, everything it is available all up here while working with the flow. Where is my flow? Oh, I just closed it. Oh, sorry, here is the flow builder. Okay. And subflow, when we need to call any another flow, then we have an this is the logical part. When we design the logic, means assignment, as you know that assignment is a thing that when we have to assign a value into a variable. Decision, it's based on the value we take a decision, means either yes or no, true and false, you all know that. And when we have a perform, when we have a do a work on a list, then we use the loops. And then we have a data operation that either create a record, update a record, delete a record, or a get record. These four kinds of action. And thereafter we have a manager. In the manager we manage the resources are the variables, as we can say that everyone know that what is variable, right? Means I don't have to, yeah, means variable, you know, that means easily, means you are a little bit back, have a background with IT, so you know that the what is variable means. So these are the variables that are available in the full flow. So flow is just like we are doing a coding, but in a graphical representation. And we are not writing a piece of a code, but we are still doing a coding in a, but not in a not exactly in the coding. We are designing everything in a graphical representation. So just like that thing, we are using the variables, we are using, just like if you're familiar with the coding, that in the code we know that we have a variables, we have a loops, we have objects. These are kind of things that, so that's the same thing in the elements we find the same things. What we need to do means in the coding, what the end we are doing, we are just either updating a record or creating a record or deleting a record or getting a record from the database, these kind of things. And we on the coding we have an assignment, means we are assigning a value to a variable. We are taking decision, means we have if conditions. And in the loop, just like we have a for loop, while loop, or do while loops in a system, that's a similar, means in a any language we have these kind of loops. So only these kind of things are available in the programming. So we are doing the same thing, but what we are doing in the programming, we are doing the same thing in a flow, but the difference is that we are not writing up any piece of a code. We are just using the screen components and designing what we have to do. So it's just a thing that before going to designing what components, what its capability, what it works, that's the thing. That screen is only to whenever you have to take an input from the user, just like a coding. Whenever we have to take an input from a user, we just use some we just design some input boxes for the user so that user can input something and then process. Then we store that input values to some variables and then perform some actions. And whatever be the result of action, we are doing the same thing are available here. We just put any screen and then we do the assignment and we do the decision, means if the value is that, then perform this. If the value is something else, then perform that. And if you have a number of records, means if we are getting number of records and we want to process some loops, then we can also do that, means for loop, while loop, do while loop, these kind of things. Whatever the loop you understand in the programming languages, the same thing is coming up here. And then what's end of that what is the end of that taking input from the user? That is either we creating that records, means whoever doing on the programming, developer or something, means whatever be the taking the input from the user, at the end he is doing only the same thing, either creating a record or updating the record or deleting the record. Only these three things are working on the basis of input of the user. Only these things are working at the end of that any of the program, any of the code, or any of the things. So similar in that what we are doing in the coding, similar the thing is also available in this flow. So what will be the at the end of that thing, either it will do these kind of four things, either update the record or create the record or delete the record. Get records is to get the, on the basis of user input, if you want to get the records from the database, means if you want to fetch the record from the database, that we can get it from there. So let's start. So what is the requirement? First we talk about the requirement. Requirement is that I want to design a Instead of going to that related and new, I want to design a system that will only ask me to that what is that ask me to the book name and then quantity, and then it will do the rest. Okay, only that is the requirement. So that is the requirement. So let's work with that. So since I need to take an input from the user, what will be the input? Input will be input
Siraj,
will be
quick question. How did you go to bookstore management?
from here 9 dots.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
This is a, this is a very important thing. Always do remember, we can move to any objects, any tabs, or
Sometimes
any
I
app from
see
here.
them.
Yeah, so
Sometimes
that's it.
they are not visible there, even though I.
Okay, I don't know, it might be some network issue or something. So coming back to my point, that I want to design a screen on which we take a input from a user, that Paul bookstore, and it will input the bookstore name and book name and the quantity, and rest of the things are doable, can be done by the flow. So rest of the things, that's rest of the thing I need to done by the flow. So I'm just going and deactivate of my process builder, so that since we know that process builder also calculating the what is the selling price and what are they, I'm just going to disable that thing and let everything done by a flow, so that you can learn that how it's working. But okay, so let's disable the process builder. So I'm coming up here and deactivating the process builder, so it's got deactivated. And view all processes, we have also due date update. Let's leave it as it is, means whenever the due date updated, all the child records are updating. I'm leaving as it is. So I'm come up here and I just yeah, I just come up here and I just chosen the screen flow. Now I just put a screen up over here. When you add it here you can see this is the output of that screen. You can design what will be the label, and you can put your components here. This is are the buttons that are available on the screen. So first I will put the label, that new book selling. It will automatically, okay. And here is the option that you can show the header or don't want to show the header, show the footer or don't want to show the footer, these kind of things. And we have a control navigation, means which button you want to see up here, means next or finish, previous or pause. Or if you for the if you have a pause, if you use a hit on the pause, then if any message if you want to display, this kind of thing. And if you want to put some help notes, then you can also use the help. So I'm just adding a help notes. Help notes, okay. Then I will, since I need to take a input from a user, first input will be a bookstore and second input will be a books. So I'm going to do that. I will take input and it should be a lookup, okay. And name of the bookstore. Okay, field opinion. Before moving to the thing, let's this as I just forget. Yeah, I just design a screen that will show the label and that. Just like before working on the before taking the input from the user, we are storing that values to some variable. So I'm just designing a variable for that. So for that, I'm just going to the new resource and I'm designing a variable. Okay, that a variable having we are creating a selling record. So I'm just okay, and for the data type, I will choose my record. It's because it will be store a record, and record will be selling underscore scores. Yeah. Okay, so I created this is a very important thing that whoever is working on the if whoever some programming background, that they will understand that, but who don't have that thing, so just for quite some, just look at here. Means what, whenever we start working on just like in the programming language, whenever we start working on any of the requirement, we have to declare some variables where to store the taking input from the we have to store input, whatever the input from a user, where we need to store. So for that, since I'm going to, I can design variables. Since I'm going to first I have to three inputs that let's user will input three things. First, bookstore, and second is where is that, bookstore and book and quantity. These three things are input by user. So for that, I have to either I declare three variables. Yeah, I can declare three variables for that, but these three information are available up here whenever we are doing the selling. This we have a three options are automatically available up here. So instead of designing a three variables, we can just take an object of that variable and use that. So might be if you're getting confused, then I can use the three variables. Let's instead of doing that, just use the three variables. Let's book.
So whenever we create this object, it will be an empty object, but it has a blueprint of these three variables, so we can assign the values to these three, I guess, right?
Yeah, it will whenever we're declaring, whenever we're creating a new resource source, it will as an empty variable, and then we just assign some values to that.
So selling object will be also something we create to use it like a blueprint or something to assign values to each of these three.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Bookstore name. It's a data type. It's a bookstore ID. Instead of name, it's give me ID. It's a text. So I don't want to take input from a user, nothing. I don't want to anything. I just give as it is. So I just store the bookstore ID, or the second is book ID, books ID. That is also a text. And then we have a quantity. It will be a number. Only up to 0 decimal places. So I just created three variables, and now I'm going to, whatever the user input into these three variables, I will put it in the whatever the input is, I will put in these three variables. So first, let's work on the screen flow. So I'm just taking a screen flow, since that will be a lookup, so I'm adding a lookup. book name. It should be, what is that? Book ID. Where is it? Bookstore ID. So it's a field API name. Sorry, it will be where we need to store. I think it's we need to store on a bookstore ID. It's a visibility. When we have to display that component, means this is the record ID. Means this will be means if you want to show some default value in that, then we use the record ID. If you add any record ID, the default value will be populated over up here, and it will make if you want to make that field as a required, then we will use this field. And here we have a component visibility. Sorry, I didn't tell about that. API name, the uniquely identified to the field API name, in which we have to store that value, means what will be the output of that thing. Then we have a label, and then we have the object API name. Object API name is only required for this thing because this is a lookup. So lookup must be related, means which kind of lookup it that doesn't know. So in order to identify which kind of lookup, we have to use this. Means we have to attach a field over there. Means since our bookstore is a kind of a lookup, means you can see over up here, since bookstore is a lookup, it's a master tail, so that's it's actually a lookup. So that's why whenever we create a new bookstore, bookstore is a lookup. So in order to behave as a lookup, means it has a property of this lookup that it wants object API name, means it will get that object API name, and so that it will make a lookup of that field. So I think it's asking for the object API name. And object is forget the thing, might be it's a I will re-verify. Let me store. It's asking for the object API. So I'm going to the manager, and then I just store this. This is the object API. I copied it from here and paste it here. Why it's not pasted? Okay, this is the object API name of this lookup. And then if you have to add any default value, then we can add a default value. If we make it required, then we can make it required. And then we have another, if we have to show, we have to show this component or not. This is the visibility, means visibility on the basis of some fields. So we will talk about it later. Right now we just make it as it is, and I hit the done. So for this, let me check how it's working, so that after that we move to next. And then I will join this thing, start, and go to this screen flow. And here we can see that this screen have this is for the undo, and this is for the copy that component. And if we hit save, it's asking for the flow label. So I'm new selling new books. New books selling record flow. Yeah, save it. When you will save it, you will find it has some warning that it has some problem that it will let you know. First, let me run it. When we hit it, run it, it will run our flow. It's not running because it let me debug it, then we will run it. Some issues, that's why. Looks like I don't have access to this field or the object or field API name. It's not valid lookup component. I think it's the API name issue. Let me choose from here. Paul Bookstore, so it should have to work.
Mr. Suraj, when you create the first flow, there was a label, and then there was also API, which was new book selling. This is not after that each time. I don't know. Maybe we'll use the same API. No, I'm just
Let me check the API name.
New book selling. New
API
book
name.
selling.
Oh, that is the for flow name, means we are saving the flow. That's why. The name of the source object and record ID value for the lookup. It requires the user to enter the value. So the API name of the lookup field for the source on the source object. API name of the lookup field on the source object. Okay, that object API name.
Here the name of the
Object.
Yeah, just enter the name of the object. Yeah.
Okay. No, it's something else. Looks like you don't have access to this field or the object or the API name. It's not valid to of this lookup component. Law got messed.
I think you just did do the opposite in field API.
API name of the source object, and this is the API name of a lookup field on the source object.
Yeah, so that just go to the object like on in field label, it's asking about the field name which we create which we create on object like
Both are the same name.
okay, then
Bookstore underscore first, yeah. API name. The API name of a lookup field on the source object.
When you
API
create
name
the
of
first time, you put the new book selling. Try this one maybe. This is the first when you create the. I think it was object, and API was the new book sellings.
Means you are talking about this.
From beginning, when you create the label and it gives automatically API name, and it was new book selling. And then each time when you try to write the API name, not this one, it was new book sellings. New was the big letter. This one, yeah. Object name.
Actually, this is the label, nothing else. Means
But
it's a
yeah,
label for.
But when you create the label, it's automatically give the API name for the. This is just the label of API of label.
Yeah, it's just a label of API. Means
Okay.
API of the.
Belongs to label, huh?
Yeah. It belongs to this header. This header.
So this header is what? This is a label of. This
This is the label of this screen.
I got it. I thought
And
maybe
here we are just adding a lookup component. In this, we are just
it's going to new selling record flow.
Let me check. Means you guys can take a break. After that, we can discuss later. Yeah. Let me check it. What is the issue?
So now it's break time, you said?
Yeah. I just go to for the 10 minutes break after after.
Okay.
By the way, I wasn't able. Still, I don't see the bookstore management, even though I clicked on.
Might be you haven't created an app builder. From the app manager, you have to create a new app called.
Mehmet Hocam, when we first time worked the workflow, Suraj was explained. This time Suraj create the book about related shop, book, buyer, selling, and this time if you create the same, so you will have it. I think.
Okay.
If you didn't create it, you will not have it.
Okay. Thank you.
Videosu da var, 49 dakikalık video. Orada anlatıyor.
Where is it? 9 minutes video.
On a record in the first week, not second week. In the first week,
okay.
Almost at the end, it shows very perfectly explaining all this bookstore.
Thank you, Sami.
No problem.
come back. Okay. Hello.
Yes, Suraj, we hear you.
Yes, here.
Yeah. Only actually I got this different thing. It's only just the API names of the field. Means the API name of the object and API name of the field on which we are working. Okay, that's the thing.
Can you hear your
Nothing else. Oh, sorry. Let me see. Now can see?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the API name of the object and API name of the field. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, what you got from here? It's a means on which you want to make a lookup. That's the API name of the object and the lookup of which field. That since we have a bookstore, so bookstore field name. Okay, so let's come back to this, and then we have a label. Now then we have another. We store the book name, and then we also wants to store the book. So I drag or drop in another label, and books field API name. I just copy the field API name from here. It has a book and label. Object API name is this. Yeah. Then I click on debug to check the changes. It's working fine or not. Means what are with the changes we made? If you want to see that it's working fine or not, you just hit the debug and sorry, I need to save it. Then hit Now I can choose the book and bookstore. I can choose both one. Now the last thing is I need to add a quantity. So let's add a quantity. Quantity is a number field. So I will choose a number and drag and drop here. Quantity. Again, the same thing. If any default value or something, component visibility, validate import. If you are to suppose I want to validate it. Why it's coming in such a way? Or I want to provide a formula for it. I don't know what's this is. Let it as it is. First, let's take the parameter and do. I don't know why it's showing something like this. Okay, I hit the done. Okay, so one more property of that screen components means it's only up to screen components. For the screen components, whenever we design a screen component, the API name of the screen component, what means of API name of this, API name of this, and API name. We have a three API names. So the API name will hold the values for only for the screen components. What are the screen components? The API name will hold the value of that screen components. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I will take this and I will take these values that I forget means these variables are doesn't need means these whatever be the screen components, it holds the values that I have inserted that I have fill out over here. Means whatever be the values in the screen components are fill out, I just fill out of here. So it will hold those values are hold in this API names. Whatever be the API names I just put, it holds the values of that API name, hold the value of that which I have entered. So for that, since I just got it and all these three values, so my next task is to calculate the total quantity. Yeah, remember, I need to also calculate the total quantity. Let's first create that thing. Thereafter, we will working on total quantity. So for that, for creating a record, I will just drag and drop create a record component, and then I will write selling new selling record. I need to create a one record, and here it asks me to choose that what I need to do. Suppose all the values come from a record. Let's first think that what is record. In the manager, we have a variable this. It's called as a record. It's a record type variable. So we have a record variable. So it asking me to that. All the values are come from a record means you store all the values in a single record, or we have a separate values for that. We have a separate resources for that values. So let me put this. So I choose I have bookstore. This field is available in the bookstore. Now it asked me to choose the bookstore from the screen component. I can choose the bookstore name, and then from name is will be ID. Means let me show you. Let me show you, then you can see, might be clear. I just let me delete this one. It is not needed. Variables also not needed right now. I'm not explaining via variables. I'm not explaining via screen components. Okay, for this screen component, I just created a lookup, and in that here it's API name, and what will be the output? We have two outputs, either the record ID or the name of that field. Means the lookup, whenever we are working on the lookup has two outputs. One is the name of that what are the selected, means I selected this one. So since I selected this Paul bookstore, so it has a name as a Paul bookstore, and it has also have an ID. Which is the ID? ID is this one, the record ID of that component. This is the ID of that Paul bookstore. So for any lookup means for creating a record in a lookup, ID is the important thing. Name doesn't matter. Means name is not an important thing. Means whenever we create a new record, the ID is an important. ID is an important for creating a lookup values, for filling the lookup values. So ID is important. So what we have to do that, whatever the screen component, we will take out the selected record ID. since in the screen component, in this case, I selected the Paul, so I have to take the Paul record ID. Similarly, if I select a Game of Thrones as a book, so I need to take out the Game of Thrones book ID. So for our creating a new selling record. So whenever we are working on the lookup and filling the values on the, from the lookups to the means filling the values into the lookup, since bookstore is a field which is a record type, which is a lookup type field. So in that lookup type field, its accepted parameter is the ID, and from where we get the accepted parameter is from the screen component. Screen component has the API name. API name, whenever we are trying to access the values from an API name, screen components API name, which is a lookup type, it has two properties. Either we can take out the, let's say, we can take out the two things, either the record ID of the selected component or the record name. So I will take out the record name. Sorry, I will take out the record ID, because record name, it's not necessary to fill the value. And then I will go to the book, and also from the screen component, I will choose the book lookup and get the record ID. Then I will also add another field called quantity, and from the screen component, I will get the quantity and hit the tab. I will also join. Whenever I hit the next, it will create the record of a screen. So I hit save, run the debug. I choose the Paul bookstore, Harry Potter, and quantity will be 31, and hit the next. When I hit the next, it will create a record. Let's check the record is creating or not. It's related to the Paul bookstore, so I'm going to the Paul bookstore, and I think this is the latest one. Yeah, you can see the quantity 31 is created, bookstore is created, everything is got created. Now my next option is that I need to calculate this total amount. Previously it is calculating via process builder. Since I deactivated that process builder, so it will not going to happen. It will not calculate that total amount. So it's for the example, means we can do that thing in a process builder, but in order to check that how the components are working in a process flows, so I will use that some of the components and demonstrate you how to calculate the values in the flow. So let's so I need to calculate that total amount, and for total amount calculation we need two fields. First the quantity, and second is the price related to this book. Means I need to get the get this book record and the price of related to that record, right? The price related to that record, I need to get that record, get this value, this price value. For this getting this price value, what I need to do, that I need to take a help of our another element called get records. Get records, what is it's used to get the book details. So let's get book details. I'm putting the label get book details, and which object I need to capture, that I need to capture book. I will select that object. Here asking for the component, here asking for the conditions, from which condition I need to get that book record value. So I need to get that book record value on the basis of the selection, on the basis of my selection. What is the selection? Run again. When I choose this book record, I have two options I can get from the lookup. One is the name and another is the ID. So I want to, on the basis of the ID, since it's a lookup, so it will give me two things. One is record ID, one is the record name. So on the basis of what I will do, on the basis of the record ID, I will capture that record and get the price. So here I'm come up here, and on the basis of ID, which is equal to my where is my screen component, then book lookup, and then from the lookup I got the ID. Okay, on the basis of ID, it will capture the book record, and then it will ask for that we have to capture the record in a sorted order. We don't need any sorted right now. And how many records I need to capture? Only the first record that I got. because on the basis of ID, I get only one of the records. So I just use that. And then where I need to store the value. So automatically store all field values. It means that since that this book object have let me show you, this book object have these fields: book name, uh, book name and book price and owner. All those fields are available up here. So what it will do, if I choose this option, it means that it will store all the values in this variable, get book details variable. Means API name is used to let's make it smaller. Means whenever we write a name, label can be capital, but API name start with a small letter.
So Suraj, in that one, we didn't put ID. Instead, we have the name, but here we are checking with the ID, like field.
We are checking the ID. I'm
Like,
not getting it.
like on the form, you put you are selecting with the name of the book.
Yeah, it's a lookup component that from which I selected the name of the book. Yeah, correct.
And
Yeah, but he's mentioning, but you searching it by ID.
like,
Yeah, because
You choose the name by searching it by ID. So this is a
yeah, I choose the name because it's the property of a lookup. Whenever I have, suppose actually the two books can have the same name, right or wrong?
yeah.
Can have the same name.
ID
So
is
that's
also
why.
guarantee.
Yeah, that's why I just taking ID of that record. So
So
it will be.
so it is okay if we choose the name, but if we look, if you search it for by ID, so it will be more guarantee, or always. Otherwise, we can use the ID.
Yeah, always try to use the ID. Means
Yeah,
name is a name. My name always create a duplicacy. So that's why we always, whenever we have to find a record, I will choose the unique name. Means always try to find the record with a unique thing. And ID is a unique thing. If you're not able to capture the unique thing, then we move to the some other option. That might be name, or if now means name is another option.
So we can add it condition, isn't it? If the ID is also the name.
We can also add a condition that
Yeah, I got it. Yeah,
more condition we can add up here.
I got
As
it.
much as we can condition add up. So right now on the basis of ID, I'm just capturing that record, and the record I will use only the first record. I can also choose all of the records. Means suppose on the basis of that condition, I can get, means suppose on the basis of name, I can get two records. So I can store all the two records in some variable. And then here it's asking for that store all the fields. All the fields means what are the fields available on the object, store all the fields values, or I need to choose here, I need to choose one of the field value to store something. Means what are the field values that I need to extract from that book record. Means ID is the default thing. Means whenever we are extracting something from an object, the ID is the default value. Means it will always capture. And if you want to capture that price, then you can also capture the book price. And if you want to capture some more thing, then you can more thing. And last one is that choose the field to and assign the variable. It is the thing that whenever we capture the record, from the Salesforce database, and I want to store that record in some other variable, not in this variable, into some other variable. At that time I use this one. That time I will use this one, else it is not needed. So what I do, that I will just store all values in a store all values in this API name. Means whatever the API name means, whatever the component we are designing, it is store the values in its API name. So that's the main, means that is a basic concept of that flow. Whatever the components we are designing, it is stored its value in its API name. So what are with the output of this get record, it will get stored in this API name. So I will choose this one and hit the done. So instead of before creating a record, I need that value. So I will delete it, and after the screen component, I will get the record. Get the record means I will get that book price, and then after that I will do the calculation. Calculation means I got my what is that? Yeah, I got my price value. Now I need to do a calculation. So total amount, sorry. I need to create a calculation. So for the calculation, I will use the assignment. Assignment, no, I need to use my resource where it will create a calculation. That I will choose a formula type, and it will be total amount and data type will be currency. What I will do, from the screen component, I will get the quantity and then hit star, and from my get record variables, where is my get record? Yeah, this is the get record, get book details. From the book details, I will capture the book price, okay, and hit the done. So I get the record, and then I create a record, and then that creation of that record, I will use that formula. Here is my total amount, and hit the done and save it. Now I store the Paul bookstore. Book name is 31. Next. When I hit next, it's create a record. Successfully record found, and then it's created. You can see that a record is ready to be created, and that's the thing. So I go into here, Paul bookstore. Go to the related list, and here you can see our 7. After the 7, there is a new 8 one. It's showing me that, and total amount is not calculating. I need to check it. Why it's not calculating?
Do we need a variable for total amount? Do we need a variable or something to keep the total amount?
I did EFP, but I don't know sure. You can see. What is the variable? It's admins is calculating that $620. You can see the debug means creating the records at $20, but I'm not sure why it's not populating up here. Let me
There's a
cross
warning
check.
message on the top on the page.
Can you?
There was a warning message on other page. Yeah, here.
This one?
Yeah.
No, actually I haven't activated that thing, but that's why it's give me a warning message.
Okay.
Why it's not calculating? Okay, it's not showing the. Here it's not showing the 9th one. That's why. Let me go to the. It's showing up to 8. View all. It's 9th one. Okay. Yeah. Now you can see the. This one got calculated. Means our total amount values is calculating. So in this way, this is my flow. It's now completed. Means this flow is completed. What I need to do that I need to well, as I told you that I need to call it from here. Means I need to create a book record from here, from bookstore. Yeah, I need to call that value from value from whenever user come up here, and here it can create a new bookstore feed, means from the action. So this I debug that, and it's everything is working fine. What I do that I just created a screen component. In that screen component, I will capture the book name. Sorry, I capture the store name, book name, and quantity, and then I get the via the get records I get the price, and by the formula field I calculate the for a formula resource here, not field, it's called a resource. For a formula resource I calculate the total amount and put that all the values together in this create record, and just it will create the record. And I hit save, and thereafter I will activate it. Activate it to activate that process, activate this flow so that it will available at other places. So I'm just activating it. It's got activated. Now for this object, for bookstore object, I need to create a quick action. So so that it button will be available up here. So I will go and create a quick action. So for that, I need to go to the edit object. Sorry, here we can, where is the button settings here? Here I have an option called new action, and that new action I will choose my flow. In that flow, I can see that there is a flow called new screen record flow, and I label them now. Create new selling, and then I hit the save. Okay, it will create a action. Now I need to add that action on my layout. So again, I go to my, what is that? No, it's not bookstore. Page layout. Here you can see there is a quick action, and where is my create new selling? I need to drag and drop here so that it will available in Lightning experience. New selling, I will drop it here. Don't get confused with the so many buttons. These so many buttons. There are some buttons are available only for the mobile view. When you open in the mobile view, you can see some of the buttons. Some of buttons are available for the desktop view, and some of the buttons are available for the mobile, because it's a combination of both mobile and desktop experience.
But is there any way that you can understand or you can see? Because I always confused. There is a lot of buttons. I mean, sometimes even same buttons or on the upper side and downside. So I would like confusing choose from which one. Oh yeah, you can from here mobile lighting actions.
Yeah, can filter out here. Yeah, you can filter out here from here.
Yeah, I know this. Okay. Never mind.
When I come up here and refresh it, I can see my create new selling button. It's come up here. I just hit here. So what it will do, it will open up a screen. Yeah, and since I remember, I just added the help text, so I can see that help text here. Screen is used to create a bookstore. Now I can add, suppose I create the John book and to play basketball, quantity is 6. Next. So it's got created, and let me go to the bookstore. That is John bookstore. Related. I forget. What is that? How to play basketball or Harry Potter? I think it's how to play, because 10th number is the same. So it's 6, quantity 6, and it's got created. Now issue is that means might be got a requirement that hey, what I have to do that I click on this button and I can see that what I have to again refill that my book name, because I'm already on the bookstore. Here I'm already focused and I still have to choose that. So I need that it should be in an auto populated. So what I will do that so there is a trick on this. Means what is the trick that whenever we are working on a record detail place, always remember, whenever we are working on a record detail place, so the Salesforce itself provide a functionality to get a current record ID. Current record ID means in any of the component, means either on the quick action or in the chatter or in the at any place we are working, means either designing a custom component or working on a standard component, anything. And usually we are working on a standard custom component on that. This trick will help. What Salesforce says that whenever we are working on any of the standard detail page, if you want to capture the current record ID, you have to just declare a variable named record ID. It will automatically capture that record ID value. So what we are going to do that I will declare a variable named record ID, and it will capture that thing. So I come up here and declare a new resource called variable. Name is, and spelling is also same. Start with small r and capital ID, and data type will be text, and I make it available for input because it take input from the external, means it take input from the user. Yeah, means it take input from the, not from the user, it take input from the system. So I will make it available for the input. Yeah, that's the, here it's a and if I make it available for output, then means that variable values, when the flow finish, if I want to some of the variable values to pass to some other system, then I will make it available for the output, and I will make here available for input and hit the done. Again I make it save as, because I had done some changes, and I need to use that record ID to my lookup component, so it will be auto populated. So I will use my record ID to here, so it will get auto populated. I hit save, and let's debug it. Now since I just make that field variable to what is that, input, available for input, so it asking for the record ID. Let's check. I am just giving that this one record ID. Let's put up here and hit run. So what it will do that this field will get auto populated. So what it help me to do that, I will just have to choose the book name and then hit the, whatever the quantity I want, and hit the next, and it will get created with the John Bookstore. Let me check on the related. It should be 11. Yeah, I can add the 12 quantity and it's got created. Now the thing is that now let's activate it. So let's we can see in a real situation. I just activated it, and I come up here and I do here John Bookstore. I create selling. You can see that John Books Limited is automatically got populated. So it's a small thing that whenever we are working on the standard detail page and want to capture that current record ID. So what we will do, just declare a variable with the name record ID, and the record ID R should be smaller. The first R should be smaller, and then I is a capital. It's quite sensitive, means case sensitive. So that, and after that we will choose the book name. Means that's another process, means it's automatically working, so there is no need to use that. But what I'm point to making here that whenever we need to capture the ID with current record ID, what we will do, we will just declare a variable called record ID, and that record ID will be used at any place, and that's the thing. Yeah, tell me, what's the question?
So with creating this, like let's say we have users for different bookstores, whenever they open their store, they will automatically see their store populated here, so they don't need to search.
They don't need to search and then fill up the values.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
We don't need to give them like permission or anything. It's automatically they have permission for that bookstore.
So it's something quite in this way. The flow is working. Flow is executing from any button. We are taking the input. We are creating the records. Yeah. So these kind of action we can do via using a flow. Okay, and the most important thing that you have to remember that what the flow it's working, how the working, some few points, what's the elements presented over up here. We haven't worked on the decision and the loop. We will take also an example that it will do only calculation when if the what you can say that if the amount is greater than 0, you can take a situation that it will create a situation. It will create only if the amount is check amount value. Sorry, amount, not amount. Here I will choose the book quantity is greater than 0, then it will get passed, else. So I will not make it up here. It will directly come up here. If I want the quantity is greater than 0, it comes up here. Else, let's go back. Yeah, you can see it not moving forward. Yeah, it again come back to here. Whenever I add a quantity is less than 0, sorry, what I make then, yeah, means whenever the quantity is less than or equal to 0, it will not go moving forward. It will always come back to this screen because of this decision making. What I am checking up here, this is always same that whatever the label and label name. The important thing is yes, what I can add as many as condition over up here, means on the basis of different condition, it will move to a different section. Suppose I add some more conditions, so on the basis of that condition, it will if you have some more pattern, so it will go here, there, and anywhere. It's just like a similar to in the coding that we are deciding if quantity is greater than 0, then do that thing. If quantity is less than 0, then do that thing. Some kind of this kind of things. And default item means whenever no condition will match. So so what I do that I check that if I just condition that means I'm not designing anything else. I'm just checking the condition. What it will we do means it will checking the conditions that quantity is greater than 0. It's just a condition. Yeah, I'm not so whenever a quantity is greater than 0, only that path will work. Means we are designing condition for a path. Means if there is no else condition in that, means we are designing, if it is true, then it will follow this path. That only that's it. Means the decision is only the thing is that it's to choosing the path on which the our flow have to follow. It's not about if it's something, it's only the just like it's a if condition. If quantity is greater than 0, it's follow this path, and if no condition will match, it will go back, something like that. So decision is to just decide that which path the flow has to follow. Means if that condition will match, means I'm just designing some conditions. We can create so as much as condition over up here, and on the basis of that what are be that conditions, we just design the path. If that condition will match, it will follow this path. If this condition will match, it follow this path. If that condition match, it will follow this path. If no condition will match, then it will follow which path. That will be the default condition. So in this way, something like that, we will later on we will talk about the more complex situation in the flow later on. First, it's a basic brief idea about the flow and how it's working, how it looks like, what are the components, how the components are working, how the components are working together, how we use that flow in a record detail page, how the quick action are working with the flow. These kind of things we just discuss about that, and we just gather all the things are together. How together all the things are together means we also talk about that. What is the auto launch flow and what is the different conditions. That was the important thing for that setup flow. Yeah, that is the screen flow, record trigger flow, schedule flow, platform event flow, auto launch flow. These kinds of flow that is available, that are available in the current system, and it's a very powerful tool because Self-host is increasing in this pattern, because you still remember we have a Self-host additions are available up here. Means we have a different kind of additions in the Self-host. There is a I don't remember the addition in which there is addition in which we don't have Self-host provided to write a piece of a code. Means that is the situation in which we don't write Apex classes in that addition of that org. Means Self-host also have some addition. Means Ultimate Edition have all the capabilities, but Self-host also have some additions. I had worked in my in a addition that we don't have to any flexibility to create a piece of a code. At that time, we have a handle. At that time, we handle a project with the only with the flow. Means it is a means if we don't have to move to the code, we can do everything with this flow. Means we can design most of the things via the flow. Means flow have lots of capabilities. Whenever you go inside in the flow, you will find that flow has so many capabilities. It can do anything inside the system without writing a piece of a code. That's a very powerful tool. And Self-host now the Self-host is working on the means I did see that they have making so many changes in the flow. I figure out that means might be in the future the flow will be the powerful tool. Means they will not work on the triggers, they will not work on the capex classes to design such a complex logic. They will only focus on the flow to design a complex logic, because the flow, I did see that flow has means very powerful tools. I have seen that it's a powerful tool. And if you remember, there is a company called Singapore called Arwood, who has a business to sell the coals. On that project I had worked on from the scratch. I had worked on that project. So on that project, they don't have any kind of means we don't have any capability to write a piece of a code. We designed, whole system was designed on the flow. Means their average system was working on that flow. Means from billing, from code, from everything is working on the flow. Every automatic process is designed via flow. So at that time I realized that flow can be a powerful tool, and now the flow is means it look like it's a powerful tool. So that's a part of thing, but you should know that what is flow, and that's the important thing. What is the flow, and how it's working, what is the screen flow, what is auto launch flow, what is platform event flow, what is record trigger flow, what is schedule trigger flow. Means that you have to know that, because in your question, in your examination, they will not ask to how to design a flow. They will ask that they will create a situation that I have a Apex class, and I need to execute a flow. So which kind of flow should the developer will, means which kind of flow as administrator you will prefer? So that kind of question they will ask. So in that you have to know that what we have a different kinds of flow in which we have a different situation. We have to choose that which flow we have to work on that. Since we have a screen flow, we have a record trigger flow, we have a schedule triggered flow, we have a platform event triggered flow, we have auto launch flow, these kind of things. So whenever you have to trigger a flow via Apex code, then screen flow will not work, only that auto launch flow will work. This kind of situation. So whenever we call it trigger, whenever you call a flow via trigger, then record trigger flow will be work, not the screen flow will work, not the auto launch flow will work. So these kind of things, that kind of things. But what is the that you should know, that means that is the important thing you should know, that in which situation which trigger will flow, or sorry, in which situation which kind of flow will execute. Okay, and rare question are come up according to that, what's the inside element in the flow. So if you do, and I know that it's a quite difficult to understand the flow, means it's if you have some little bit experience on the on the coding part, then you can easily understand that how it's working, because it's totally logical based. It's totally logical based. There is no nothing we can do that we can theoretical. There is nothing theoretical. We just every means whatever be the business logic, we have to convert that logic into the flow, and it's totally logical. So if you don't have, if you have an issue in understanding the flows, no issue in that. Just know that what's in which situation which kind of flow work, in which situation what we have to do. That's an important thing. So that's it. That's it for flow. We discuss more about that flow in the later on classes, because we haven't discussed about the actions and subflows. We will discuss about the actions and subflows, and thereafter we will discuss about the what are the different kinds of flows. So pretty much for the day. Any questions?
Suraj, they created actually RPA right here. These flow all the RPA, robotic process automation.
Yeah.
Like UiPath, like, yeah, there are different companies working on the RPA. Yeah, these they stole, I think, from them. But this is really good. Without coding, you don't need to code. You don't need to know the code. Yeah, this is really good.
And it's fun.
Really good.
It's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, otherwise.
Yeah, if you got interested in that.
I don't like the writing code, but with this one, it's good.
Okay, that's nice. That's actually it's the last part of the admin section, and it include all the admin things
Yeah.
in itself. What you have to know, just you have to include everything. So it's actually a bridge between, and we can say that from that it's just like a bridge between a developer and an admin. So something like that.
This is developer tool, isn't it? Automation developer tool.
No, I don't. It comes in an admin.
It's admin, but you say that with this one you can do almost same thing, like writing the code the developers do. Anyway.
yeah, that's the thing. Means because without writing a code, we can design the screens. We can, without writing a code, we can
with this
do
flow.
The calculation. Yeah, with this flow. Yeah. That's the important thing.
So we don't need to learn the coding.
Coding is that means we can say that coding is only for the too much complex things, because flow have also have limitations, but it's a very far limitation.
On your project, how many persons are using the coding and using the in this way? Like
I got just like I said that Arwood is a company that working on the coal. It's working on the raw coal. So that's only that project I have seen that I have seen the flow is important. Apart from that, usually in the projects they don't use the flow, because flow normally the who is the manager or something above you, they don't understand the flow. So they don't want to go into the flow. But I know the flow is a means they think that it's quite typical to think Means when it's become more complex, let me show the if any image I found.
I got it.
Is bad.
Flow in Salesforce. Let me show some images because we have some more complex, just like this. You can see it's a quite complex. Yeah. Everyone get a
I got it.
get a heart attack to see that. Oh, what is this?
Wow. Yes, there's a lot of
A lot of.
connections.
So that's why
Crazy.
usually it's got complicated when we increase the business. So only the person who created that flow, that person will know how it's working. Apart from that, any new person when comes in, new person comes in the project, so it's might be not easy to understand the flow to that person. So it might be that's why is the reason user means people whatever be the managers above the developers not prefer to flow, because whenever the flow become complex, user usually not able to understand that. Look at this. Means if you look at this, if you look at the such kind of flow, you will got confused that hey, what's going on up here?
Yeah, it is really complicated.
Because there is no means only just seeing you can't understand what is going up here. You have to see each and every component, what is working, how it's working, because we can't write any comments over up here. That's the limitation that I found, that we can't write comments in this. We can't write comments. And suppose this part is for that purpose, so I can't write that comment over it there. So that it's not easily understandable. That's the thing.
I got it.
So that's the issue. But the person who designed that person enjoyed it while designing it.
We will have
He
the same kind of questions in the exam. We will have the same kind of questions in our exam.
Same kind of question means?
I mean, about the flow.
About the flow, they will ask only the thing that which flow.
Like if they maybe, for example, they will give such a I don't know what's this system, or I mean all these things, and maybe they want to ask this one is what, where is the book ID?
No.
In the examination, we never ask the direct question like, okay, this is the what, like they cannot they not pick the question directly from the flow. They give some scenario over there, and we have to find out like, okay, what the way we can solve this, like using the flow, using the process builder, using the workflow. This kind of questions we are asking about it, like
they will ask something like that. So that's why you have to take you have a knowledge of everything.
but
Why
we
it is
have to
designed.
know everything, like we can do this using the flow or not we can do this using the process builder or not. So we can decide, okay, what is the correct option. So yeah, to pick the correct option, we have to know everything.
Yes, exactly.
What is this all plus templates part on the top?
It's a predefined one. Means suppose you want to work on any existing, so that's the thing. They just categorize, means, or the thing are category it's a category, means these are the flow you just these are the already means these are already created, means it's already created flows.
Like methods somebody created, huh?
Somebody created.
Like methods.
And you can use that flow as a template and make changes. Already created flow, you can use that already created flow as a template and make changes with it. So that's you could say the create a case is a template, it's already created. So that's not an issue. Issue is that that is not common thing. Exam they will ask that they will put a situation that, and you should know that which will handle which type of flow will handle the which situation. Okay, that's the thing. And but if you try to build the things via flow, you will enjoy that I know that. It's an enjoy, you can enjoy that. Hey, that's the thing.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
I think we need to work on this flow more. Kind of confusing.
Yeah, it's a kind of confusing, but when you start working on that, means you will enjoy that thing. When you will get used to of that thing, so you will enjoy it. Yeah, it's quite easy, because actually the thing is that most important thing, there is no so many components in a flow. Means there are some few components that have few defined steps, and yeah, you can see there is no so many components. Only just we have only 3 components. We just drag and drop component and do perform. We have only 3 components in the logical part. We just drag and drop and design that thing. Means whatever we just drag and drop and use that. And we have only 4 components. Means there is no so many components, just like the other tools we have.
It's like schema. Schema is also like drag and drop.
Yeah, it's like a schema. Yeah. Quite like a schema, but a schema is only for designing a
Yeah.
object fields.
Yeah, this one is more powerful, more confused.
It has more capabilities, and so we can
I think we all first learn about the flow in our 9th or 10th class. First time when we met with the flow in a math subjects, we just read about the flow chart.
Okay. Yes, of course. Learn.
Siraj, I have a question. If you can
Yeah.
go to flow types page.
Flow type page. Okay.
Oh, not this one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm opening.
Okay, screen flow and auto launched flow. These two, like screen flow is taking the input from the user, just like a sign up page. Auto launched flow as well. It's REST API getting information from the user. What is the difference between two? I didn't get that.
Yeah, it's taking the difference between, the only difference between that is that it's the auto launch flow. It's taking input from some other process. Means it's taking from a Apex class or process builder or REST API. Means some other process has already taken the input and passing that values to the flow. Yeah, and in this one, flow itself taking the user inputs.
Okay,
that's the difference. Means yeah, in this one, flow has a own capabilities to take inputs, but in this one, flow does not have capability to take inputs. The input is taken by some other system, and that input what passes to the flow.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Like post.
What we do today is screen flow, right? With clicking cell book button, it's screen flow.
Automate screen.
Well, which one we did it? The screen flow we did it, isn't it?
Yeah, we just learn about the screen flow.
Yeah.
Because it's taking. You remember, we are taking input from the user while we can click on the button. Where is that? Yeah, when we click on the button, we are taking the input from the user. So that's right.
So are we gonna keep working on this, or what is the schedule for tomorrow? Is off day, I think.
Tomorrow. What's your means? I'm not sure. Actually, I think tomorrow will be class. Today is your 22nd or 23rd.
Oh yeah. Tomorrow we have class. The day after.
Yeah, because right now we have a 23. Today is the 23 for hour, but I think you guys have 22nd.
Yeah.
EST, in the EST it is 22nd.
Yes.
So what will we learn tomorrow? Like,
so tomorrow you have a class. I mean, don't show that.
What will we learn tomorrow?
Tomorrow we will discuss about that other kinds of flow.
Okay.
Most important, we will learn about that auto launch flow. Okay.
Yeah, one.
Auto launch flow, because usually they ask question regarding to the auto launch flow. Auto launch flow, they ask the questions related to the auto launch flow. That's right. How we call the auto launch flow. Usually they ask the question regarding to auto launch flow, and we will put some shed some light on this, how these are called. Because if you know these and this two one, means if they only the in order to learn the flow, you have to just learn the anyone. Means if you learn the screen flow now, no need to learn all of this. You just because it's only triggering the flow. Means it's a process of triggering the flow. Means When record is edited, some whatever the condition I write in the screen flow can also be a same condition in the record trigger flow. But the thing is that for screen flow, we are using a button to trigger. For the record trigger flow, we are using creation, updation, or deletion of the record will trigger that flow. Schedule, it will take means we schedule the trigger to run a platform event trigger. Whenever an event is happening, then the trigger will execute. And auto launch flow, whenever some whenever other system will call that flow, means pass that input to that flow, then the flow will execute. So it's not a 5 kind of flow, it's just the 5 type of events that trigger the flow. Flow is a single one. Yeah, it's not a 5 kinds of flow, it's a 5 types of events that triggers the flow. That's the thing. So if you learn the screen flow, there is no need to learn all those things. You just have to consider the situation that we have a what's the situation, in which situation that auto launch flow will work, what's the situation in which we have a record trigger flow will work. That's the thing, because all this have relate to a same flow, but the on which event the trigger will flow, that was divided into 5 categories. It is just like it's via buttons, it's via record edit, it's via schedule, it's via platform event, it's via some tool, just like Apex Classes Process Builder or something else. So that's the thing. So all leads to a single flow. Means the flow is the same in all 5 of things. In all of 5 of them, flow will always be same. It's only when we have to trigger the flow, that's the important. So it's not a, if you learn any of them, it's no issue. All of them you can all easily learn.
Well, thank you.
So that's the point. Point is that it's only for the 5 ways how to trigger the flow. Not there are 5 types of trigger. Not there are 5 types of flows. There are just 5 types of triggering of flow. 5 methods, or we can say that how we trigger a flow. Okay.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Thank you.
No far, no, so far no.
Okay, then
Thank you.
bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.